actually, in our character customization, this for demo purposes, we have to really simplify this and just get right into the game. There's millions of options with respect to character customization. So the most important part, I think, of the character creation experience is creating your personal biography. We have a whole series of questions that you answer about your character, constructing the personality of your character, constructing the background of your character, that actually will determine and branch your personal story as you play the game. Decisions we make now will affect the actual game as you play it. So right now, Matthew's picking essentially something for his elementals that will affect the visual representation of his character. The next part of this is picking a personality trait, a predisposition for your character. As you go through the world, the choices you make will actually start to form your character's personality and how you can influence people or not be able to influence people based upon those kinds of decisions. So we've got charm and dignity, ferocity as three base choices. This is how you were raised. Were you raised as a part of the common pool, nobility, or in the streets? And again, these questions we'll see this will impact us right away, even in the starting experiences. We're going to choose common. A couple more questions we'll play into, again, our personal story that will far-reaching effects on the world. Here is a summary of some of the choices we made. This is essentially now representing our personal biography. And Matthew's putting his name in there. And when we click next, we're going to head right into our opening cinematic for the game.
The human race was raw tyranny. Struggle to hold our ground. We have been defeated, driven back, and broken, but we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Christ still stands. Our faith is strong, despite the silence of the six gods.
So this cinematic actually now branches. It's actually now customized to the choices we made in our personal biography.
I was born to comfort, just one among many. My friends and I don't seek attention or glory. It's how enough of them ends with. But I believe we can still shape a brighter world out of the ashes of the past. Today, I step outside of divinity's reach to see the world. When I arrived in Shane, the town was under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. We can't live our lives in fear. I have to fight. I have to make a stand. This is my story.
So, one more thing I think I'd like to say before we jump into the game itself.
So we have a continuation of your personal story. This area is kind of the tutorial area of the game. It's a place where we expect players to kind of learn the basics. And you can talk to Corporal Bird here. You can see there are other players running around. He's telling us that we need to help out some villagers that are by telling them to get to the end. So one of the things that we wanted to try to accomplish with our tutorial was to put players right in the action to make it feel like it's an exciting sort of story that they've wandered into, instead of having it be the sort of thing where, maybe it's a really serene tutorial and you kind of take your time. So what we've done is tried our best to create an area that feels immediate, feels exciting, without actually being dangerous to the players. And so you'll notice, for example, that the centaurs in this area are not very threatening. Matthew can dispatch them pretty quickly. You're starting to see our combat here. if Matthew wants to attack, he has to use a skill to do so. We allow players, because we know some players do kind of like to that auto attack style, so we do allow players, if you right click any skill, it will auto execute, and so it will just keep firing as soon as it's ready. There you saw him kind of evade that centaur by rolling. You can double tap in any direction to roll. You'll also notice that as he's using skills, he tends to move around a lot while he's using skills. Most of our skills can be used on the move. And this is because we want our combat to feel dynamic. We want our combat positioning to really matter. And so it is the normal case in the game that you can move while using skills. So now we're going to come into the end and see what Sergeant Walters will say.
You must be the lifesaver everyone's talking about. Whoever you are, thanks for sending those militias here. We'll keep them safe.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thacker is calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious, but I can't spare anyone. I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's Reach. If I can help him, I will. Officer, bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
So this is one of the ways we tell story in the game through kind of these animated cutscenes. We also have a lot of scenes that kind of just take place in the world, and you see those happen as well. So we've just been told that Logan Thackeray is holding out at the garrison and that he needs our help. So we're going to go run over toward the garrison. One of the things to note is, again, in keeping with our art, we try to have, we have a night and day cycle, we have weather effects. We really try to use those things to immerse the players in the world. The fact that it's rainy and stormy and lightning makes this area feel even more kind of threatening. So here we're going to see our first dynamic event. So you see, notice he ran into the area and he immediately got the objectives. And you notice also that a character kind of yelled at him as to what was going on. He didn't have to walk up to someone and get excited and get a quest or any of that. He just sees that the garrison is under attack and he goes in and can help out. So there's actually another player in there. That female warrior is another player. And one of the things that will happen, it looks like there's a necromancer too. I think I saw a necromancer menu. One of the things that you'll notice our events is as more and more players add to this, the waves of centaur get successfully larger. So the events scale to accommodate the number of players. The thing that we want is we always want more players to mean more fun for people, not to mean that sort of the content is getting used up faster and then resent other players from being around. We always want you to see another player in the world as being a good thing. So this guy's kind of a minor boss character. You can tell he is the champion for his name. So we just see this event succeeded, and we're going to see a simple event chain here. So they've succeeded in defending the garrison, and they're going to go into an event chain that's going to chain into a little boss fight here. And this event is a boss event that happens as a result of another event completing.
It's huge.
So again, this is one of the things we wanted the player to feel heroic. We wanted to throw them in. We didn't want them to feel like they're killing, forest creatures for their first bit of their play experience. We want everybody to feel like a hero and that
Captain Thackeray apparently had personally been unconscious for 3 days. You had lots of visitors, villagers you rescued, some seraph, and even the tavern keeper from the city.
So this is an example of, again, our personal story branching. The fact that Andrew and Petra came and visited her was a choice based on some choices that you made during character.
Fresh air and exercise.
The fact that you're a commoner means that you hang around with a certain class of people like tavern keepers and things like that. And so that's going to have, right now, the personal storyline is really starting to emerge. If you're a noble, you're a fellow noble Lord Farron came to visit you. If you're from the streets, an old friend of yours who's a shady character named Quinn came to visit you, and things kind of start branching out from here. We get rewarded for doing part of our story, so gets to choose a weapon. He's going to be rewarded with that dagger plus whatever weapon he chooses here. And you level up also because you gain experience from that. So now he can put some points into his attributes. He can also go check on his story at any time. This is a running journal of your story that kind of is written in the first person, so it's we want to try to reinforce that fact that this is all personal, this is all your story. So now we actually need to go out and talk to Watchman Revick. Watchman Revick is a particular type of NPC that we implemented in the game called a Scout. One of the things that you'll note as we go through the demo, because our event system is dynamic, that means we don't know exactly what's happening. When players come out, they're also not going to know. There are all kinds of different things that could be going on. It's not static. So what we've done here is created a system where he pulls up the map and he shows you that there's some people out there who need a little bit of help. And what that is you can go to those places, try to help out those players. There are all kinds of little tasks, like to help the local farmer in his hayfield. You can help water his crops. You can help feed his cows. Take care of some of the creatures that are nearby, causing problems. And the idea is that you have these little tasks that you do, and they keep you out in the world and keep you doing things. And those are where events tend to occur. And so what happens is you'll go out. We refog the map for explorers, so you know that. But you still got these parts on the map that show you kind of where to go. And the idea is that this helps players who are the types of players who need a little bit of direction, who need that kind of like push. Explorer players are going to be just fine. They'll go out, and they'll explore, and they'll run into things, and things will happen. It'll be a very cool experience. But we found that there are certain types of players who really like that checklist of things to do. So this is what this system does for them. It gives them a checklist where they can go out and in kind of completing their checklist, they will run into events. So one of the things we have is Matthew's actually on headset. We have almost 200 people playing with us from our company back home. They're all on German time because we were really excited to show the game, and also because of the dynamic event system, and we also wanted you to experience what's going on in the world. So one of the things you'll notice, again, he came over to an area, there are bandits attacking this wheat field, they're trying to burn the bales of hay, he didn't have to go talk to a guy. In fact, you can see the bandit waves have actually progressed, but he came in the middle of it, and instead of in other games where we might say, oh, well, you didn't come in at the end of the beginning of this thing, therefore you can't take part in it, he just has an opportunity here to be an adventurer, to be a hero, and he's helping to beat the bandits. Similarly, he could have walked past this and let this thing happen, and then there would be repercussions to that. So another thing, there's a seraph card on the ground there. You saw another player just revive that card. So that's another part of our, we want players to feel like other players are doing things. We give every player in the game, regardless of their profession, the ability to revive other players when they're down. That's, so that you don't feel resentful. Other players can always help you.